Hey, hi, hello, it's me, Tiana, back at it again for another video, and today we are talking about what I watched this month. So, the very first thing that I watched in the month of September was the Netflix show Trinkets. If you don't know what Trinkets is, it's fine because I literally have seen no one talk about it. It's the second season and final season dropped on Netflix in September. It's based on a book. Did not read the book, so I can't tell you how closely it lines up to like what actually happened in the book. But Netflix did do an adaptation as a young adult book. And it really was interesting to me that it kind of checked all the Netflix like boxes. Like it was based on a book. It was a young adult book. A diverse cast of like, and it's female led, and all of the things that I usually see people go off about. And I've literally seen not one person talking about the show. The only reason why I found it was I think I had typed in, I was looking for something else on Netflix, and when the show that you're looking for doesn't come up, Netflix gives you like other options that are similar. And I saw the black girl in the thumbnail because it is a black girl, a biracial girl on the show. So I saw the black girl in the thumbnail. I said, now how Netflix got a show with a black girl on it and I don't know about it? So I clicked it and to make sure it was in English. I've been through this. I can't do subtitles. I have poor vision and it's hard for me to follow the story if I can't listen to the words. If I have to read lips or read subtitles as I'm watching the story, it's hard for me to focus on what's actually happening. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at God for giving me terrible eyes. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so I clicked on it to make sure it was in English, and it was. And I was like, so why is no one talking about this show? Like, so I read the description. I was like, this is right up my alley. It's about these three girls who all got in trouble for shoplifting, and they were in this group of Shoplifters Anonymous. They become friends, and they, get into shenanigans together. And it's truly just a story about like friendship and like empowerment and like girl power and all of that. Like, it really was so surprising to me that nobody is talking about the show, because I think it's like pretty good for a Netflix show. Like it's on the top tier of Netflix programming, like for young adults. Like it's up there. Like she's top 2. I don't know if she's number 2. I don't know. Like, it's really good. And I don't think this is a controversial take, but like I believe, honestly and truly, book adaptations should always be TV shows versus movies. I feel like in a TV show and a book is more like one-to-one. Like you can have more time to let stuff like simmer, let stuff develop at the right pace. You don't have to rush through stuff and leave out important things or things that people like. Like I feel like so many books that had a movie that people didn't love would have been better had it been a TV show. And that's also kind of why I like 13 Reasons Why, the first season. Like the idea of it, I was like, yes. And that's actually what made me be like, it should always be a TV show. Because I feel like if you tried to turn 13 Reasons Why, the book, into a movie, it just wouldn't have translated well. Now, we can argue about whether or not the show translated well, because that show was a mess. Like, it was a full-on mess. But I feel like it gave the same like energy and vibes as the book. Like the book was kind of a mess too. A lot of people want to act like the movie invented like the TV show invented the concept of like sort of promoting suicide and like promoting self-harm for attention. But like those vibes were in the book too. Like just reread the book. I know you probably read it in like in middle school or early high school, and you haven't read it in a couple years, and then you watch the show. Read the book now. Read the book now. You'll remember. It was given suicide ideation in the book. Like it just was. Sorry about it. And I have the book here. Your girl, I read it, okay? Not now a Netflix series. I also only watched the first season of that series, and like it was a little bit triggering for me myself as someone who has dealt with depression, so I didn't go past that first season. I honestly couldn't even watch the final episode of that. But this video is not about that show, so we're gonna move on. Speaking of adaptations, I did finish Avatar: The Last Airbender at the beginning of the month. I talked about like my thoughts on the show in my last video, which I will put in the eye if I remember because I have a terrible memory. But I had plans on watching the movie because it is on Netflix, because when I first watched the show, I was like, this show is so good and I just want to live in how good the show is. But people kept talking about how bad the movie was, and I was like, should I watch the movie just because it's terrible? And then I watched Kenny, there we go, Kenny JD on her channel, which I guess I'll link that video in the description box. And I also watched, I think it was Dylan is in Trouble, I think that's who it was, his video like reacting to the movie, and it kind of just made me want to watch it, see if it was terrible. But I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. I might watch it. I might do a reaction video because I do want to incorporate that content into this channel. But it's just so much work, and the copyright claim, like I took like a week to do a whole video on the Netflix show Never Have I Ever, and I uploaded it and got copyright claimed, and I edited it as much as I could, kept getting copyright claimed, and then they finally just was like, the video won't come out. So I still have that video. I might try to see if I can maybe figure out a way, but copyright is hard, okay? And doing reaction videos, it just takes so much work for you not to even know if your video is going to be able to be like seen by people. But yeah, so I did finish Avatar, and I also did start Korra, and I do want to say Korra is boring. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think Korra is a better Avatar. Like, I find Korra, the character, more interesting than I find Aang, but like, it's just not, the vibes aren't there. The vibes aren't there for me. And the thing to connect the two shows, let me turn the sound off, because I know y'all be tired of hearing my computer ding-dinging in these videos. The thing that connects the two shows, Trinkets and the Avatar: The Last Airbender, is the girl power thread. I don't know if I talked about this in my other video, but it's so interesting to me that Avatar: The Last Airbender, even though the main character is the Avatar, who is a guy, the show is so much, it's like, it's a female-led show. Like, Katara she's holding that show. It's just hers. It just is. And I find it so interesting that when they did the spinoff with Korra, they gave us the female lead, the female Avatar, and then surrounded her with male characters that I don't care about. Like, I just don't care about those boys. I don't even have the strength to remember what their names are. Like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Really couldn't tell you. And then we have Aang's son, and like, I don't care. I just don't care. And then Katara, she just doesn't have anything to do. And it's like, and also and this might just because I haven't finished it. I got bored and stopped watching, because you know that's my vibe. That is my mood forever. I will stop watching something if it's boring. But I just don't, what happened to Sokka? Like, what happened to Sokka? Like, what's going on? I feel like they talked about everybody from the original and like what they had going, and they had like kids and they were doing stuff. Like, Toph had a daughter. Like, what's Sokka? What Sokka had going on? But I don't know, man. It was also confusing to me because, like, wasn't the two dudes, they was brothers, but like one was an earthbender and the other one's a firebender? Like, how does that work? I'm confused. I has confusion, but maybe I should just pay more attention. Like, I might watch it again and pay more attention, but I'm telling you, I'm bored. I'm bored by it. I'm so sorry. Avatar was perfect. There was nothing I would change. There was nothing I would add or subtract. It's just a perfect cartoon. And Korra is just boring. Like, it took too long for me to care about the characters. And then once the action actually started, it just wasn't, I don't know. I guess maybe the stakes aren't there, or like the the arc is not as like tight as Avatar is. Like, you know, from like the very first episode that we're going somewhere with this story, that everything is important. But with Korra, it felt like they didn't quite know what they were doing. Like, they were just sort of meandering around in the story to figure out what the issues was, what the conflict was, versus having like an overarching conflict along with like smaller conflicts on the ways to the big conflict, you know? Like with Avatar, we knew at the end of Avatar they would have to be fighting the Fire Nation. But with Korra, I think I'm in season 2, and I just don't know what, like, I don't know what the main point is. Like, I don't know what the end goal is. I don't know what we're fighting towards. I don't know. And again, this might just be because I'm only half paying attention because I find it boring. But like, I just feel like, I don't know, something about Avatar hooked me. Like, even when I was watching Avatar, the very first season of Avatar, those first, I want to say like 3 or 4 episodes, I was kind of bored watching it. But like, at some point, I don't really know what the switch was, but something like grabbed me and I was hooked from that point to the very end. Like, but it's just not hooking me, and it just hasn't hooked me. And I really gave it a chance too. The first season, I wasn't doing anything else but watching it because Avatar was so good. I was like, I'm gonna give this my full undivided attention, because I will turn on the TV show and then do something else and not be looking at the screen. But I was like, I'm gonna give this my full attention. I'm gonna watch the show when I don't have nothing else to do. And it just lost me. It lost me. I just didn't care. The next thing on my list is Sister Sister. So I am doing a full video about Sister Sister, which will be out on Thursday. But I'm watching Sister Sister now, and the main takeaway I want to give you, not to spoil the video that's coming out on Thursday, but I hate Tamara. I hate Tamara. I hate her so much. And honestly, I think I'm going to stop watching the show. I'm in season 5, I think. I think I'm at the end of season 5, and I think I'm not going to finish it. Now, I don't know how many seasons it is, so I might be at the end, but I don't think I'm going to finish it. I can't keep watching the show. It makes me so mad. I get so aggravated watching it. The next TV show I was watching, so I was watching a bunch of TV shows, so this is going to be pretty short. But the next TV show that I was watching is the one that I'm most excited to talk about. It's P-Valley on Stars. So if you just found me, which you probably did because I don't have a lot of subscribers, you will probably think I spend most of my time watching like young adult and like children's content. And like I do spend a good bit of time watching that content, only because I be stressed out, and sometimes I need a children's show that's just gonna make me feel good, right? Kids shows are just bright and colorful and simple, and sometimes I just don't need to be thinking too hard. And I think too hard all the time in my real life, in my real job. Like, you see so many videos on these that I make, like talking about social justice stuff. Like, I use TV and media as a way to wind down. I don't need to be watching a show about racism and watching a show about like historical like atrocities and people dying and like stressful plot lines. Like, I don't need to do that. It's too much. Sometimes I just want to relax. However, sometimes I will sneak in some adult content, and P-Valley is the show that I've been watching, or I watched because it's off now, but you should watch it. It's on Star. This is great. It's so good. It's so good. There are not a lot of shows that talk about Black girls in the South. I don't know what like the version is of, like, I guess it's because like a lot of the stereotypes about Southern women, like, and about the South in general, about being like backwards and dumb and like slower than like people up north, or like I don't know, just like more simple or not as like interesting as people on the coast or up north, like just being rural and just like, I don't know, like people have a stigma towards the South, and I love that it's a show about Southern culture that is very Southern. Like it's based in Mississippi, but I think it was shot in Atlanta, and the writer of the show and the main character are from Tennessee. So you get kind of like a wide berth of Southern culture. The music is so good. The acting, you can tell that some of the girls are like new to acting, but even with that, like the acting is so good, the storyline is so like gripping. Like from the first episode you're hooked and you need to know what's gonna happen next. Like waiting week to week for the next episode, I was like, oh my god, I need to know what's gonna happen next. And I very rarely get shows like that, because either A, I don't care and I'll forget to watch the show, or B, it's predictable. Like even if I like the show or the characters, I'm like, I already know what's gonna happen next week. I don't have to like stress it. Like with this show, I never knew what was gonna happen next. Like it just kept, it's just and Diamond, he is so fine. Like he is so fine. Like he is so fine. My mom said that he was on a Tyler Perry show, and I immediately was like, he absolutely was. Because if Tyler Perry don't do nothing else, like y'all can malign him for every crime against humanity that he has put on our televisions, but if he don't do nothing else, he gonna cast a fine man. He gonna have the finest nigga you ever seen in your life on that screen. I promise to God. And wow, Tyler, I think that's Diamond's real name. I think it's Tyler. I might be wrong. Either way, the nigga is fine. He is very fine. He is. Ooh, God took his time. Wow, what a man. And Little Murder, I'm sweating. Little Murder looks so good. Like he just looks so good. Like that's my type, nigga. That's my type. Like wow, a man. His character arc, a man. Okay, just. And then the women, they're just all beautiful. They're athletic. The stripping, like the actual athletics on the show, like how do you have that kind of upper body strength? I sit on my floor for these videos and I be struggling to get back up. Like how are you on the pole and flipping, and you on the, it's so much like to not only have to be like, they had to cast people who are good actors and or decent enough actors who look the part, who can do the accent, who can also do the athletics. Like give these girls a round of applause, because they are working for their checks. Like they are working for their checks on this show. Like wow, P-Valley is mwah. You should watch it. You should just watch it. I don't want to give anything away. You should just watch it. All right, and lastly, the only movie that I watched this month is Marie Antoinette, which was directed by Sofia Copala. So let me tell you how I got there, because this sounds random, right? Like I was like, oh, I watched this young adult novel, this children's cartoon, this drama. I guess P-Valley is a drama. And then I watched this white woman movie, right? The first thing that you need to know about me, as much as I'm Black Power on this like channel, I want to let you know I love a white girl movie. I love a white girl movie. You cut on Clueless, you cut on Mean Girls, you cut on Bring It On, babes, you cut on any of those Legally Blondes, babe, you cut on 13 Going on 30, okay, any kind of little, just a white girl romantic comedies, 27 Dresses, like your girl is tuned right on in. I love it. It's my favorite genre of movie. I hate that we're in like a drought of romantic comedies, because that's my favorite genre of movie. I love a good romantic comedy. Like sell me on like the patriarchy, like sell me on giving up everything that I find amazing about myself for a man. Like sell me that dream, babe. I'm not buying. I'm simply not buying. However, I love to watch other women do it. Like wow, wow, she really is gonna move across the country to be with a nigga, give up her whole career just because she loves him. Wow. And it's like, which movie am I even alluding to? The movie that was in my head was Sweet Home Alabama, because you know I love a Reese Witherspoon movie. But like, it's really, it could be any of them. It could be any of them. They love giving up lucrative careers for a man, okay? The Devil Wears Prada, like, come on. Stop. They're so good. But I watched Marie Antoinette because for some reason, I've never seen that movie. I don't know why it didn't come across my like purview. I think it's because a lot of people don't like it or didn't like it. I think it was like panned when it came out. It also might have been the time period it came out. I think it came out in like 2004 or 2006. I might be completely wrong, but I think it was the early 2000s-ish is when it came out. So, I was watching this video that was talking about Sofia Copala as a director, and like the style of movie that she makes. And I was like, oh, because the only Sofia Copala movie I've seen is The Virgin Suicides. And I watched it on Netflix like maybe 3 years ago randomly, because again, it was like a movie that I've seen people talk about a lot that they liked, but I had just never watched it. So I was like, I watched The Virgin Suicides. I like that movie. I like the vibe, because I think with Sofia Coppola, at least from like what I saw from the video that I watched about her like thing is just like no plot, just vibes. And it's definitely, that's what we got from The Virgin Suicides. Like, it was definitely no plot, just vibes. And that's also in Marie Antoinette. Like, it was no plot, just vibes. And honestly, I love the vibes. I was in there. It was like really pretty. I've been randomly into watching fashion videos, and that's why I kept seeing Marie Antoinette over and over and over, because the fashion in that movie is great. But I really like period dresses. I've been like conditioned now because I've watched 500 videos talking about period dresses. My favorite YouTube channel right now is, I think it's called Modern Girls. I'll link them in my description box if I got it wrong. Well, whether I got it wrong or not, I'll link it. But I've been watching their videos a lot. I think that's where I saw the Sofia Coppola video, and then they do like best dresses in a movie in like whatever color, like yellow or red or blue or whatever. And I watched all of the ones. I watched them all. And it's just the fashion. It's so beautiful. And that's everything I watched in the month of September. In October is gonna get spooky season, babes. I don't like horror movies. I'm not even gonna sit here in front with you, but I do have some horror content planned. I am going to try to do like reaction video, a commentary video on some of my favorite horror movies. Again, I don't like horror movies really. When I was a kid, I watched them a lot. I don't know what was going on with me. I was a little disturbed. And also my cousin, who is also my best friend, loves horror movies. So I think I was just trying to be cool, and she was watching the horror movies, so I was like, okay, I'll watch them too. But actually, like, in adulthood, I realized I don't really like being scared. Like, I don't get it. So the content that I'm going to give you is going to be a mixture of my favorite horror movies, and a mixture with, like, horror movies in the sense of movies with, like, a horror theme or, like, a spooky vibe. But they probably won't really be all that scary. And then I want to do at least one modern movie that I've never seen before. So yeah, those are the October vibes. But yeah, so if you like this content, please subscribe. I be forgetting to tell people to subscribe, because honestly, I just feel like if you like the content, you'll subscribe. Like, it's never been somebody who has said subscribe to my video in the video and I subscribe just because they told me to. Like, I subscribe because I like the content. So hopefully if you like this content, you'll subscribe. But if you need someone to tell you, here's me telling you, please subscribe to my channel. And in the comments, tell me what you were watching this month. I love suggestions of new things to watch, new TV shows to watch. You can also follow me on Twitter. That's where I'm most of the time, and where I talk about shows where I'm watching, I try to like live tweet stuff that I'm watching, but I don't always do it. One, because I don't like to live tweet if I'm gonna make a video, and two, because sometimes I just be like trying to focus on the show. Like if it's something I've never seen before, I try my best to give it my attention, because I don't want to be like, I don't like this thing and it be because I just didn't give it enough of a chance. I guess that's it, and I'll see you in the next one.